In regards to the view, I know that I had allowed the Commonwealth's motion for review. There was a proposed order with the Commonwealth's motion. I don't think I got a proposed order from the homeowner, and I think he was invited to propose one, but I haven't seen anything. So, Commonwealth, what's your position in regards to it's your order? But what are your thoughts in regards to that?
Well, I was approaching it as most of these types of cases that I do. We usually let the homeowner know when we'll be there. They make sure they're out of the home when it's unlocked. We go in. A case like this where we have 18 jurors, maybe send them in groups of 4 or something along those lines to see whatever myself and defense counsel want them to take note of, and then leave the premises with an instruction to the jurors they're not to open any closets or anything like that or touch any personal items. And I think that's pretty much what's encompassed in the order, if I recall.
Yeah. Mr. Reddington?
I have no position on that, Your Honor. Your Honor knows that I indicated I don't think it's necessary to have the view plus videos plus photographs, but I understand you've already made your decision on that. So it's a house that is now occupied by a man and his partner. It does not look at all like it did before when Lindsay and her family was living there. So I defer to your discretion on any specifics on the view.
All right. So my intention would be to, as I said, allow the motion for the view, issue that order in line with the proposed order that was given by the Commonwealth, and then as we go forward, we can give the homeowner a notice on that. We'll have police and security there to address any of those concerns. In the order regards to the media, we'll also deal with the no photographing of the jury during the view.
Could I just make an observation, Your Honor?
Sure.
It's a situation where obviously we're dealing with people that are civilians or professionals. This is not a situation where we're looking at a drive-by murder in the middle of an inner city where there's danger to jurors and stuff. Can I ask that the court at least limit the police presence? I mean, I have had it with police officers on motorcycles buzzing back and forth next to the jury bus, and police officers stopping traffic and blue lights behind you, blue lights in front of you. There's no need for that type of a police presence in this case. We're going to take a bus to a house in a residential area in Duxbury, and that's it. I understand that there may be a need to, close down a road or something, but I would ask that we don't have such an overwhelming police presence for obvious reasons.
Come on.
We could go to sidebar. We do have a plan in place, but for security purposes.
Sure, yeah. Sidebar. One of the motions that was filed and argued had to do with photographs. I know, and I allowed the Commonwealth to be able to introduce some photographs. Just so, again, there's no surprises. If the Commonwealth can provide me a copy of the photographs that they intend to introduce, so I can look at them and make sure, no surprise, but be in line with the ruling that we talked about.
Are you referring to the autopsy photos, Your Honor?
Whatever photos, or the crime scene photos, perhaps.
We could provide you with either the disc with all the photos, or it's the issue. The reason I'm hesitating is at the moment, as we're prepping, we're deciding what photos to use, but that could change mid-trial. So I could give the disc with all of the photos for you to review and be prepared in case there's an argument about one of them.
I don't think there's going to be. We've already kind of had the argument in regards to photographs, and I also allowed that some photographs will be admitted with limiting instructions. But I just kind of want to make sure that I understand really what the jury is going to look at, so I can make that final determination. So kind of however you want to do it. If you want to give me all the photographs, that's fine, or just some representative ones. I'm not going to hold you to if there's one that's a little different angle from some other one, but just so I have some idea kind of what we're going to have to deal with.
And I can bring in copies of the autopsy photos as well.
Okay, that's fine. All right, thank you. The other thing we had talked about last time was that the 3D model was, I'm not sure if that was done or if that's an issue now or.
It's almost complete. I'm expecting to, Sean Marucci from our office has been working on that. And as soon as it's done, provide a copy to defense counsel in the court to look at. But it's going to be a digital monitor that's on the screen.
So it's a digital representation of the house?
Yes, digital model of the home. It'll have an exterior view, and then it'll have each floor of the home. And it's just a digital model, nothing physical.
All right. So if you could just make sure Mr. Reddington sees that copy, sees that, and then we can deal with that as we come
I'm sure they will,
close
and
to it.
I have no problem with the AutoCAD stuff. I may have one myself. So it's
Okay. All right. So we won't worry about that. The blood spatter motion, we're going to take that up later. What other issues do we have? I know that there's one in regards to some additional witnesses, but besides that, any other issues we need to take up?
The Commonwealth sent defense counsel several proposed stipulations. It would be helpful to resolve those.
I haven't had a chance to look at them yet, but I'm sure that I'm more than likely going to agree with all their stipulations, because if it's to avoid having people, in a ministerial sense, like somebody looked through a scanning microscope and they handed a slide to somebody else that put it in an envelope and somebody else looked at it. I have no problem with that. I'm not, as you well know, we've indicated that the mechanics, if you will, of the homicides and the actual event itself, we're not contesting. This is why you've already heard me complain about the autopsy photographs and all the gruesome stuff we're going to have to live through. But it's to their stipulations, I'm more than willing to stipulate to avoid having all these witnesses.
And just so the court's aware, they are witnesses as defense has described, mostly laboratory witnesses. It would save calling 31 people.
Yeah.
So.
All right, and that's kind of what I figured was coming. So that's I'll anticipate that there's going to be a fair amount of stipulations that'll be done. I'm not going to hold anybody to it at this point till we get the specific language in it.
My only concern is that in light of Commonwealth versus Gordon, I think there needs to be a colloquy with the defendant about the stipulation. And I haven't done one myself, so I don't have a model for the court. I'm not sure if other judges have done it at this point, but that's something, I think it would be something along the lines of other similar waivers of a constitutional right, but.
When someone stipulates to an element.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll either borrow one or draw one up. So I think that's a good idea.